Hi, this is John Rosen here, Torah and Psychotherapist. This week's Torah and Psychology post for Behaalosecha is going to discuss when should a person seek therapeutic help. Because it's an interesting question, I guess, theoretically, practically, to say when does a person need to seek help? Is it something that it's dependent on a certain situation, a certain level of desperation? Is it depending on the context, the nature of the difficulty or the problem? Do people seek help because it's something which they need to do on their own accord, on their own volition, or is it based on a referral that people are referred by maybe a medical professional, or maybe they have friends or family that suggest that the person should seek therapeutic help? What goes into this process of actually getting to the point of seeking therapeutic help? And this is actually a pre-stage of the therapeutic process, which is perhaps can be the hardest stage in terms of acknowledging or recognizing that you need help, or acknowledging that it would be appropriate to seek therapeutic help. And it can take a long time and a lot of courage to take this significant step. And there's an interesting pasuk in this week's parasha that says that when the Bnei Yisrael go out to war, when they are facing their enemies, they should blow on the chatzotzot, they should blow on the trumpets, call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they will be remembered by Hashem. And Hashem will save us when we are being oppressed. And this is taken by Rav Soloveitchik, is interpreted to be relating to the idea of tefillah as well. That when we are faced with a time of oppression, a time of sorrow, a time of difficulty, we daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is the Ramban's interpretation. The Ramban's interpretation of this pasuk is that there's only a din min ha-Torah, a de'oraisa to daven when there's a time of sorrow. This is what he takes out from this pasuk. That when you are facing our enemies, when we are facing oppression and difficulties, then we cry out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then there is a din, a mitzvah min ha-Torah, a din min ha-Torah to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But the Rambam says that no, that the din of min ha-Torah, of de'oraisa, of davening is actually every single day. Every day there is a min ha-Torah, there's an obligation to daven to Kodesh Baruch Hu. And Soloveitchik suggests what is the basis, the crux of this machlokas between the Ramban and the Rambam. So the Ramban, who says that it's only at a time of sorrow that there is a din min ha-Torah to daven, is saying that a person maybe only recognizes and acknowledges the need to cry out to Kodesh Baruch Hu, the influence of a Kodesh Baruch Hu, at a time of sorrow. Perhaps it's to do with a certain level, that a person at a spiritual level, that people are not usually so in tune and connected to the influence and the impact of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Or perhaps it's saying that the need to cry out to a Kodesh Baruch Hu, based on what the pasuk says, is actually only the obligation and the reliance and dependence on a Kodesh Baruch Hu is at the time of sorrow, when we understand that it's only a Kodesh Baruch Hu that can save us. Whereas the Rambam is saying is that a person can understand that every single day there is a recognition, perhaps a level of acknowledgement that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is always helping us. There's always a connection, there's always an influence and an impact that Kodesh Baruch Hu has at all times on our lives. And therefore on a daily basis there is a din min ha-Torah, according to the Rambam, to daven to a Kodesh Baruch Hu. If we take this into the therapeutic field, and understand the question that we started, when does a person seek therapeutic help? We can take this machlokas of the Ramban and the Rambam and try to interpret it based on when a person takes this significant step and this difficult step to seek therapy. Is it like the Ramban says, that it's only at a time of sorrow, when things become so difficult and there's a time of intense depression, anxiety, and difficulty and struggles and desperation and hopelessness, then a person cries out, then a person calls out and seeks therapeutic help? Or is it maybe like the Rambam is saying, is that therapy can be useful for a person all the time for their daily living? Perhaps it's something that the person can use on a daily basis, and therefore it's this calling out for therapeutic help doesn't have to be that you wait until the last moment, or a time of desperation and despair and sorrow. It can be something that can be used and integrated on a daily basis. There is obviously a lot of discussion as well within the therapeutic model. What is the therapeutic process? There's short-term therapy, there's long-term therapy, there's the accepted norm perhaps of one session a week, a therapeutic hour, which is 50 minutes. Do you go longer than that? Do you give double sessions? There's a lot of flexibility and discussion in terms of what is the norm of how much a person should be given, when does a person seek help, how does a person seek help. What we can take out from this machlokes of the Rambam, the Ramban and the Rambam is also saying, when is it the correct point to seek therapy, and what is the goal of therapy? And I think we can say, obviously, it's based on any situation. Every situation has to be looked at in separation, in isolation, based on the person's personal, individual circumstances. But the therapeutic goal, I think, what we can take is an integration of the Ramban and the Rambam. If we try to fuse their two opinions, these two opinions is that when a person does seek help, perhaps it is when a person is suffering deeply and they are crying out at the time of sorrow, they need help. But we want to take the Ramban and also try to help a person to move into the mold, perhaps, and the mindset of the Rambam, is that they are able to take on skills and techniques and apply the therapeutic lessons and what they've learned from the therapeutic process and integrate that into their daily living, that on a daily basis they're not necessarily reliant on the therapy sessions, but rather they learn how to take these lessons and how to take these techniques and initiate and integrate it on their own, and to be independent and live on a daily basis mindfully, and on a daily basis be able to understand how they can apply these skills to help them with different situations, that they reach a situation where Minat Torah, in a sense, or therapeutic, the din of therapy, in a sense, the ideal therapeutic situation is that they can use these skills to help them on a daily basis, which is an integration of the therapeutic process, but also how it then is integrated in a natural way into one's daily life. Have a great Shabbos and keep well.